All right. I'm flattered, Steve, that you would have me speak on behalf. A little surprised that you would have me speak on your behalf. But I'll do my best to not embarrass you and see what happens. So if you do care to look this way, I do have a few slides that I'll share along the way as I give you this speech. Now, as I did promise not to do anything that was distasteful, I didn't know where to start without making this a bit of a novel, and I know I had a 3-minute timeline for this particular speech, so I'm going to keep it within a zone anyways. And the problem was, as I was staring at the computer, I sat there giggling to myself, thinking of all the things I could say that would make no sense to anyone other than me and myself, or just myself. So instead, today I'll give my toast to Steve as a top 5 great things about Steve. I gotta go back to the other pictures there though. Because that alone is a great thing about Steve. Did you notice the tinfoil outfit he's wearing at the top there? If you're wondering about Steve's tinfoil outfit, you can ask him about that later on. Typical Friday night. Okay, so great things about Steve. Oh crap. I didn't ask ChatGPT to write this, Steve. I promise you I didn't write it. It was written by ChatGPT. Okay, so number 1, Steve is definitely not a wallflower. A great characteristic, also known as how I met your Steve. So Steve, for those who know him, although he may not self-identify as such, he's very socially adept. Is that a nice way of putting it? Adept. He has been known to walk into a McDonald's and walk out with a new drummer for the band. And that is a true story. How I met Steve was in the hallways of Valley High School, hence why there is a grim walk to the right. For those who know they're Transformers. Steve and I actually met lockers. Lockers were side by side or somewhat close. Steve was moving over various Transformers and Star Wars toys and somehow ended up with a pile of mine, and that is how we came to know each other. Some people think it's through our music, but no, it was through Transformers toys. Okay. Don't know what happened to that slide. Next, likes to play with others. Another top thing is. So I've had the privilege of playing in numerous bands with Steve over the years, in all stages of his life. So back when he shut down the music industry at the high school, all the way up until recent, where we have released. For those who don't know, the head table is taking orders for the new album that's releasing this year, the Sound System Take It All Away album. And if you are not convinced and do not want to buy one yet, please do know that somebody makes a special guest appearance on Rocket. Some backup vocals provided by the one and only. Okay. Oh, yes. Steve has bad abs. Now, there was going to be a slide next that was going to show a picture, but instead we've got the real thing right here, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be dancing later on tonight outside. When it dims, the lights, best for pictures, you'll thank me later. All right. Steve is a DIY guru. So, something I absolutely love about Steve. I don't know what those pictures are on the right-hand side. That's definitely not Steve. But things that you'll hear Steve say that you should really take seriously. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we... What do you think about whatever it was, it'd be done in 24 hours? There's no doubt about it. So it doesn't matter if it was from artwork and logos for a band, new shirts for the band, video shots, production, songwriting, furniture, and have you tried this guy's salsa? Just don't ask him what color this is. Sorry, Steve, but you're not my fashion consultant. Can make action heroes out of everyday people. So a really cool thing you may not know about Steve here is Steve, at an early age, was quite accomplished. I was quite jealous of you from early on, Steve, because when you were like 17, you were already on breakfast television, CR4N. Steve made his mark locally and even internationally with Steve Toys. Very, very cool. So if you haven't seen these yet, go to Steve Toys, just type in Facebook, stevetoys.com, Steve Nichols. You will find his old interviews of Steve who has no fear, who is confident, exudes confidence, accomplished and driven, and in giving his interviews. I do believe in this particular article you also mentioned you were going to send some to Regis and Kathy Lee. I did you. Sorry man, we can't get away with it. We got gray hair. So very cool if you haven't seen that yet. But one of the coolest powers I think out of this, or one of the coolest things with number 5 is, a real superpower of Steve is how he makes us all feel like superheroes. There's so many things that you've done as a positive influencer in many people's lives, and my own, that bucket list items, things I never would have done if it wasn't for that drive, and if it wasn't for you taking action and helping making sure that everyone benefited from your drive. So I want to appreciate you for that. So, on that note...
Hey, Trev, sorry, quick question. Why only 5?
Why only 5?
Yeah, why only 5?
Only 5? I had 3 minutes. I had 3 minutes. I only had 3 minutes. But, did you guys have something you wanted to add? Why don't you add a bonus? 6 and 7.
Check. Alright, how's everyone doing? Awesome. Steve, thank you very much. I'm Steve's supervision. My name's Tayo. Appreciate the opportunity, flattered to be here. So Steve and I go back a long way, like grade 5. So we're talking late 80s for Steve and I with Mill Woods. Anybody? So it was a relationship, a friendship. I think born out of a few key things. So we had short skirts, that's something that we loved and shared, and we got in a few fights over. My mom and mom said that we maybe had a few short of that. Slurpees, ice cream in the bottom.
He ripped me off a lot when trading 4 trucks.
I have no recollection. For the record, I have no recollection of this. My mom claims this as well, so perhaps this happened. We'll make amends. We spent a lot of time at Ready Mart, so in our neck of the woods in Southeast Edmonton Woods, there was a Ready Mart with a couple of video games, Super Contra, Pole Position, Endless Hours, Endless Quarters, numerous Slurpees with ice cream at the bottom. Awesome times.
MC Hammer.
MC Hammer. And you got a Nelly Vanilli, cool. Blame it on rain. Probably know it's true. What else did you like girls, even back then. I shared love with the opposite sex, even in grade 5. Steve and I were reminiscing about kind of grade 5 stories. Just one of them that we chuckled over recently. Now, again, this is grade 5 mind, grade 5 humor. So, kind of want to be there kind of moments, but it was a grade 5 field trip. It was like Half Moon Lake, so it was a big field trip camping, no parents. Big deal for all the kids. We loved it because the 2 cutest, hottest, what do you call them, hottest, the 2 cutest girls at the time, Nikki and Jen were there. So for Steve and I, it was like, it's the moment we needed to finally get noticed, finally be the guys that slide in there.
We tried our best. I don't know if we
tried our best. Oh, we tried hard that night. So fast forward to end of the night, 11 o'clock, everybody get in your tents. So we're in our tents. As I recall the story, to the best of my recollection, we thought the girls were in the tent beside us. So it was lights out. We were hoping, fairly convinced that they were. So it was the moment for Steve and I to profess our love to this tent next door, lights off, just being goofy kids like, I love you, you're this, you're that. I think this is how it went. Unbeknownst to us, it was actually our teacher. Trevor Tessier. Suffice to say, one of the more awkward moments that I remember back then. One of those funny moments that has kept Steve and I friends forever. In all seriousness, and to add to the things I appreciate about you, buddy, I think you are gracious with your time, selfless. I think about, I've got memories from before, even more recently, where you came to my work and volunteered your time, your knowledge, no strings attached. I sat down with all the owners and gave us a crash course in marketing and just made a tremendous influence on us. And again, it was just you doing that, you offering that, just little gestures like that, offering to help you with the permit, or offering to help you with the basement rentals. And the list is long, and you just never fail to be the guy that just offers his time, offers his knowledge, offers his friendship. So I don't have to tell you this way up, but you got a guy with a massive heart and continues to do things every day that remind me how good of a friend he is. So to Steve and to Bill.
Thanks for leaving me something to say. I gotta scrape the bottom of the barrel for this one, huh? I gotta be honest. I don't remember the first time I met Steve.
Home Depot. Yeah, it was Home Depot.
You're making this up.
No, I remember you and Lisa were there, and Lisa said, "This is Steve," and we were.
Oh, wow, that's a crazy memory. My defense, I don't even remember the drive here this morning. I don't even remember the last 2 hours.
We're supposed to drink at the wedding, not before the.
I don't know how to top that. These fine gentlemen hit the nail on the head perfectly, if anything. Always, when he's there, the positive attitude, the welcoming arms, the loving heart that gives to everybody. It's tremendous. And over the years, getting to know him makes me feel like there are some good people. There are some people that are big hearts. And Steve's one of them. Thank you so much for having me, for being part of this moment.
Hi everyone. Are you guys enjoying your evening? I'm a little nervous, so bear with me. If you haven't had the chance to meet me yet, my name is Marissa. I've met the bride, Patricia. Like, we always see each other on at the Indonesian gathering, but we never know each other's names. So it's more like, hi, bye, oh yeah, okay, bye. Just like that. And then one day, I was at the sports bar in Spruce Grove, and she was with Steve at the same time. And then we were walking towards each other, and I was like, aren't you Indonesian? And she's like, oh, you live in Spruce Grove? And I was like, yeah, me too. So, because it's very rare to find an Indonesian in Spruce Grove. So I was very, very happy to actually have one. But on that note, I just want to say, sorry, I'm just nervous. Patricia, I'm sorry. You're doing it. Trying not to cry. I'm so honored to be standing here for the most special day. I'm very happy that you found someone who loves and appreciates you. And Steve, you are a wonderful partner, and you are so loved, and you also appreciate Patricia. Both of you are meant for each other, and I hope and pray for all the love and the happiness and joy and grace in your marriage, in your children's life, and also in your family. So once again, guys, would you please raise your glass? Once again, I would like to congratulate for the both of you, for Nova, Berlin, and Sophie. God bless you guys. Thank you.
Such a wonderful evening. Such a wonderful evening. I've had so many laughs, so many smiles tonight. I've met so many old friends. I've met so many new friends. It's a wonderful wonderful evening, a chance for all the families and friends to get together. It's just a real nice evening, beautiful spot, beautiful weather, just a joyous time. Once upon a time, way back when, there was a book called Love Story. Remember that? It asked the question, where do I begin? Well, in this love story, where do I begin to tell you about my son Steve, who has made me so proud, who has made me smile, who has filled his family's life with joy, with music, with kindness, and with love. Not to mention he and Bea finding my new car and fixing the tile in the bathroom. But that's beside the point. I suppose it begins when he and his sister being born at the Charles Camsell Hospital. It's closed now, but way back then, there were legends about an unwanted baby gaining revenge on those who went home to happy families. That one baby has haunted Steve. Steve said, well, I don't have to worry. I don't worry. That was the council. Where was I born, Daddy? At the Charles Council. That baby has haunted Steve's nightmares to this very day. Well, that was the character, and the character who lived in the furnace in Gibbons, the Harumpagos, you could see his eyes. And several others who often came calling and often clawed at his window at night. Not to mention the Freddy Krueger movies we went to, and the weird birthday cards he would always receive from a plumber, a strange fellow named Fred Grip. The cards were always signed, Fred Grip, we do taps. And we never quite figured out that all this may have been the spark in a young man's creativity. Because maybe a spark in Steve's creativity because he's always been wonderfully creative. I remember him shopping for a guitar on White Avenue, taking him for lessons there, listening to him, Trevor, Matt, Mark, who was here earlier, over and over and over and over again in my basement. And then proudly going to see Rat's Ass, that was these gentlemen, going to see the band in the old Boston Pizza on White Avenue, and then down at the Rev downtown. Down at the Rev, that was quite a time. I remember being very proud to head up to the Fringe one year to see the play that Steve wrote and acted in. I remember, as Trevor was saying, how hard he worked on his Steve toys. He made me so many Steve toys. I got the Dallas collection up on my wall to this day. Clay models of people he made and he sent out all over the place, actually. He was up all night for days one Christmas, just getting the orders ready. Steve gets a lot of his creativity from his Toontown grandfather Bob and his mother Wendy, who are both very good painters. Now, you might not know this, that Steve's own paintings have actually hung in the Canadian Masters collection at the Banff Centre of the Arts. You might not know that he actually was the one who put them up. And he actually was the one who took them back down. And like all master felons, he returned to the scene of the crime as even this year, taking 4 unsuspecting innocents, like Bear, like Nova, like Berlin, and yes, even baby Sophia, with him to see. Oh yes, grandparents.
They were up for 6 months, those pictures.
Yeah, they were.
Before anybody knows.
They were actually, and people did applaud and say nice things. Grandparents, Bob and Audrey's spirits are here tonight. boys than one. That was Bob's voice, you may have heard as you came in asking when are they opening the bar. That was Audrey saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere. She said that 50 years before Alan Jackson. Bob also asked someone, I won't say who, are you trying to heat up all of Saskatoon? But that one didn't quite catch on the same way. Steve's mother, Wendy, grew up and went to the same high school as Joni Mitchell. That's fact, yeah, that's right, yeah. And her own singing voice is legendary. Those who have heard her rendition of The Butcher Block say Joni was lucky to get out of town. But I remember other things as well. Steve playing his guitar by the fire pit in my backyard with my mom and dad and my grandson Kalen, who were all with us here in spirit tonight. They were all laughing and singing and having a great time. He always made my mom and my dad smile. Wouldn't Ginger and Cease be excited today? Their Moose-Jaw grandson is marrying a beautiful lady from Jakarta. Time to get the globe up from the cellar and see how far away that really is. And Kalen, I see Steve now in the play area, up at 4E3 at Stollery, making Kalen giggle and laugh. I see them playing and going down the halls. I see them now in my front yard, making snowmen. Kalen forgot his mitt in my car that final day. That car still has the mitt in it now, this afternoon. That's 19 years later. I remember Bullwinkles. We used to go to Bullwinkles a lot for kids' birthdays. We celebrated my daughter Becky, her Cabbage Patch, Eric Lawrence's birthday there. We often went there for Steve's birthday. I remember one birthday we all found some excuse to leave for a minute, go to the can, or go out to the lobby to play the video games. And we asked Steve, they asked the waitress, could you please bring me my birthday cake? She did. And the whole gang actually sang happy birthday to this sweet little soul all by himself sitting in the booth. And we all watched this around the corner, burst into laughter, came and gave him a great, huge hug. Moments I cherish. Cherish is the word. As you get older in life, you realize that life isn't measured in days and months and years, but those special moments that you hang on to forever. You know, the days and the years disappear, but those moments are what you remember. Like going to the Oiler games in the Coliseum, like going to Eskimo games and watching Tracy Ham, getting the autographs afterwards. They actually panned the crowd on TV during the telecast of one game, and there was Steve and I cheering on the evil empire. Mom saw it Moose-Jaw Club and said, we saw you on TV. Like on holidays, Beck and Steve and Mom and Dad heading out to Vancouver with our usual poutine stop in Jasper along the way. Like heading down to San Francisco so often, where Steve and I had one gorgeous day. We went to the Giants game at Candlestick Park, and that very night, Steve and I went to the Fillmore. Yes, the Fillmore. And we saw Collective Soul, stood so close to them, you could talk to the guys. Steve even got a drumstick from the guys. On another visit, Mom, Dad, Sister Jerry, and I took Steve over to the Haight the night Jerry Garcia died. Remember that? We remember, Steve will remember how crowded it was and the smell of all the incense and the grass. You know, the music and all the legends of the 60s were just floating in the air that night. It was a magical, magical night. On the trip home, we took a break in the desert. Steve lay down on the road as if dead from the heat, He actually held a bereavement flower close to his chest. Mom and Jerry giggled, Dad smiled. I had another of those moments. You know, the old song, Moments to Remember, has the lines, though summer turns to winter and the present disappears, the laughter that we share will echo through the years. And this wonderful evening tonight is one of those moments that I'm going to remember for a long time. It's like Tayo was saying, going in and trying to chat up the teacher next door. Those are the moments you don't forget. You forget the year and everything else, but those are the... We used to sing in the car on those trips to Vancouver in the States. Steve would bring Dr. Dre. My mom would bring Randy Travis. Maybe you heard it here. Maybe you heard it here earlier tonight. Randy had that great song about a man loving a woman, saying he was going to love her forever. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old women sit and talk about old men, I'm going to love you forever and ever, forever and ever. Amen. Steve and Bea, I know the spirit of that old song is echoing in your hearts tonight. And we all here wish you many, many, many of those special moments the years ahead. We wish you good health, good luck, and good times forever and ever. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, today is a truly special day as we gather here to celebrate the union of my beloved sister, Bea, and her wonderful husband, Steve. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Bea's older sister, Irene, who hails from Jakarta. It's an honor to stand before you and say a few words about this remarkable couple. Bea, my dear sister, is not only 5 years younger than me, but she also possesses a unique combination of qualities that make her truly exceptional. She's not only beautiful on the outside, but her inner beauty shines just brightly, I bet you agree. She's incredibly smart, energetic, athletic, and one of the most efficient women and mother I have ever known. Our lives have taken us far apart, with me in Indonesia and she's in Edmonton, with Steve by her side, luckily. Together they have built a beautiful family, and I have the privilege of getting to know them personally better last year during my visit here. So I get to know Steve, a warm, friendly, open-minded, helpful, and chatty guy. It's evident how deeply you care for Bea and your 3 beautiful daughters, Nova, Berlin, and Sophie. Just a few days ago, I went through a challenging ordeal with my initial flight got cancelled. We were all in panic, but the uncertainty and stress were overwhelming. But I convinced Bea that I will still come anyway. And I'm immensely grateful that I can make it yesterday, just in time for their wedding, to witness this beautiful moment in their lives. As I stand here today, I see a couple whose love is not only evident but also inspiring. Bea and Steve, your love story is one of strength, resilience, and unwavering support for one another. You have already faced challenges together, and I have no doubt that your love will only grow stronger as you continue in this incredible journey, together with our Lord, for sure. So let's raise our glasses to Bea and Steve, a couple whose love knows no bounds, and to a future filled with blessings, happiness, love, and countless beautiful moments. May your love continue to shine as brightly as it does today, and may your family always be blessed with joy and togetherness. Cheers!
to Bea's mom and dad and her sisters for coming all that way to Canada to share with Bea and Stephen. They'll be staying on for a few days, and I know that Bea's over the moon about that. There will be 8 beautiful women in the house. That's a lot of estrogen. So, Stevie, a little bit word of wisdom from your mother, okay? Don't leave dirty socks in the living room. Don't sit on the best seat in the house. Don't complain when supper's a little late. Don't drink too much beer. Don't lose your temper. Don't dirty the towels in the main bathroom. Don't forget to flush the toilet. And for heaven's sakes, don't leave the seat up. So everyone here knows Stephen. So I'm not going to concentrate on him. I'm going to concentrate on Bea. I want everyone to understand who she is and what makes Bea. Oh yeah. Before I do that, I gotta honor my son's request. I'm to tell you how handsome he is, and that he's very charming, and very sweet-natured, and I gotta say this, that he's extremely buff. Okay. In other words, a stud muff. Did I do it? Yeah. Stephen and Bea met in the spring of 2020, right in the middle of COVID, on an online dating app. Bea informed him that he needn't worry about wearing a mask. And he said, great. Yeah. And I wasn't too sure if he was less concerned about getting a disease over not getting a goodnight kiss. So he was invited to dinner. And he was to bring phone. He said he'd bring phone, right? Yeah. And when he got there, she opened the door, and my romantic son announced he didn't bring phone because he was afraid he'd have bathroom issues. First date. Really? So while she was digesting this lovely bit of information, he handed her a box of chocolate. And she looked at the box, and she looked at him and said, I don't like chocolates. I don't really know how these two got together. I'm not sure. It wasn't till later that summer that he brought her and Sophia to the lake. I liked her. She's beautiful, lively, and smart. And of course, I fell in love with Sophia. I mean, what's not to love about Sophia? And Stevie was happy. Okay, I lost my place here. Okay. All right. And Stephen was happy. It was when as they were leaving, they announced they were moving in together. I almost fell off my chair. Because Stephen must have told me at least 100 times he didn't need another female in his house. He already had Nova, Berlin, and the cat. And that was enough for him. Now I'm going to tell you about the engagement. And I have it on good authority that this is exactly what transpired. It was a work day. Stevie called Bea up and said he was taking her out for dinner. She said, okay. Did she have to dress? And he said, no, no need. After work, Bea was tired, real tired. But she persevered, and off they went to Julio's burial on White.
Romantic.
They ate, and she thought, oh good, now we can go home. No, he said, not catching the vibes. We're going to go for a walk in the legislative grounds.
Romantic.
Yeah. She thought, has he lost his mind? I'm so tired, I ate too much, and I want to go home to bed. And he wants to go for a walk in the legislature ground. Bea was a wee bit cranky too. Yeah. So he walked, she half walked, half ran. And all the while talking nonstop about the squirrels, mostly because she had nothing else to say. During all this jabbering, she didn't even notice that Stephen wasn't with her anymore. And she turned around, he was down, bended on one knee, holding something up. And she said, what the hell is that? I kid you not. So he asked her to marry him, and she stood there, head reeling, in shock, and with confidence waning, I'm sure, he said, so? And here they are. Bea is beautiful. Well, that you can see. She's hardworking, very intelligent, lively, loyal, and sincere. There is no game playing, no guile with Bea. No nonsense. She takes her position as wife, mother, friend very seriously. In the time that I've known Bea, I have seen and felt her efforts and her devotion. She's devoted to making this family healthy and happy. When you listen to Bea, you have no doubt of her sincerity and her loyalty. And let me tell you, you do not want to mess with Bea. I am proud, very proud, to have Bea in my family. Bea is beautiful, inside and out. Now before I finish this, let me tell you about Sophia. Sophia fits in with this family and did right from the start. She's very smart, very courteous, very loving. Such a sweet-natured child. Loves to have fun, hardly ever complains. But I want to share one little story about Sophia. Now, Nova, Berlin, Sophia and I were playing sorry. Berlin landed on Sophia's marker, sending her home. Of course, we laughed. Well, some of us did. Anyway. But when it happened again, Sophia leaned over the table, eyes flashing, and I mean it, and said to Berlin, I'll give you an injury. I'm not lying. Sophia is competitive. Great. A girl needs some spunk to get on in this world, and she will do fine. Everyone loves Sophia. So I'm going to finish by saying we are lucky, very lucky, to have Bea and Sophia as part of our family. It just feels right. I wish for all of you peace, love, and with that, much happiness. May God bless this union and this family.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank thank you everybody for being here. I just come up to thank everybody for coming. It's been quite a day. I think we couldn't have asked for better weather, and the venue's perfect. Everything that you see here, this all is Bea. So Bea did all this work. She designed everything. She sourced everything. She found everything. She spent the last 8-9 months pretty much doing everything and putting up with me just being grouchy. So thank you, Bea, for everything that you did. It's amazing. So thank you for that speech, Mom and Dad and you boys and Marissa and Irene. It's really touched me. I'm feeling pretty choked up. You guys said a lot of very, very nice things. Mom, you did. I'm not sure if you needed to tell the bathroom issue story, but it's true. That was our first date. That is a true story. But I'll give you a little bit more insight just to back it up before that on the day we met. And it was kind of random and by luck for me. We did meet on Bumble, so that was right. And I was in the bath making a Bumble profile, drinking a beer. And I don't have words like my father does, or my mother. So I didn't know how to write a biography about myself. And if anybody's ever online dated, you can understand it sucks. But I was struggling to write a bio about myself. It's actually interesting to try to summarize yourself in about this much of text. And I had no idea what to write. And just by divine inspiration, a song came on because I was listening to music in the bath, like I do. And it was the Journey song, if you guys are familiar with Don't Stop Believing. And I'm like, this is great. This is a great song. And the first line was, just a small town boy born and raised in South Detroit, took the midnight train going nowhere. And I was like, perfect, that's my bio. So, it's true. So I wrote this, that is my bio. So it said, Steve Nichols, just a small town boy born and raised in South Detroit, take the midnight train going anywhere, period. Great, close. And I'm enjoying my beer in the bath. To my surprise, or not surprise, I got 0 people matching me. Except for one person matched with me. And it was this lady right here. And she said 3 words. Very romantic, sweet 3 words. I opened up my, who's this beautiful woman who matched with me? What is going on? This must be fake. Open it up, 3 beautiful words. You're an idiot. It's a true story. True story. Needless to say, it's a good thing I was online because I replied really quick. What are you talking about? And we spent the whole night talking and talking and talking until the wee hours, at which point I knew I better set up a date real quick with her because there's no way once she gets to know me that she's gonna stick around. So I set up a date 2 days later. At which point she said, we can date next week. No, we're getting together Tuesday. I'll bring Pho. And then you heard the rest of the story later. I actually didn't bring Pho. So that's how it happened. Anyway, so I just want to thank everybody for coming. Bea's family, it's been a journey coming from Jakarta. I know there's been some ups and downs with flights, and you came all the way here to be with us today. And to be with Bea, I know it made her so happy and made me very happy. Thank you very much for coming and sharing this day and welcoming me into your family with the tea celebration that we had yesterday and introducing me to your culture. You raised a wonderful, beautiful, intelligent woman with great morals. You don't meet many women like Bea. I haven't. So I'm very thankful to you. Thank you for being here. If we can have a round of applause for Bea's family. To my family, my mom, my dad, Ron, my sister, Aunt Jerry, Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me, Dad. Those stories that you told, those are my cherished memories too. Going to Bullwinkles, Fred drip cards. If anybody didn't understand, my dad, what his reference is every year for my birthday, he would make a random card from this character named Fred Drip, and I had no idea who that was. So my entire life, there would always be one card left somewhere, and it would always be stuck under the table with a piece of gum. But there's one more card, Steve. I mean, well, who's this? And lo and behold, it would say, Happy Bar Mitzvah, and it would be crossed out, Happy Birthday, Fred Drip. And it would come with the most ridiculous presents, an oven mitt, or a flat tire, or whatever. And he did that my whole life, so that's the Fred Drip reference. My mom and Ron, my entire life, have done nothing but support me through all my crazy ideas. Like my mom alluded to, I've had a lot of strange and crazy ideas. Some of them good, some of them not so good. But they've been with me my entire way, supporting me and encouraged me, and never let me down. Every time, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, but they've always been there for me. So thank you very much. My sister, for introducing me to the best music, and some would question that, but introducing me to great bands growing up, like Def Leppard, New Kids on the Block, Madonna, Skid Row. That was Becky. Always taught me to the music I listen to today, and I don't think it's actually the music, because it's really not that good. I think it's the memories I had with my sister. So I appreciate everyone being here for my family. Thank you very much. If we could have a round of applause for them. I'd like to thank my kids. There's Nova right over there, and Berlin, and little Sophie running around somewhere having fun. These three girls are perfect examples of grace, humility, of kindness. I couldn't be more proud of all three of them. They're growing up to be such great women, such great people, and I couldn't be more proud. I think if anybody knows them, they always come up to me and they always say, your daughters are really special. They're always help cleaning up. They always have very good manners. They're really polite little girls. And Sophia fits right in with them, and we want to thank you for being such great girls and being here with us today. So let's have a round of applause for the beautiful girls. I want to thank all the guests for coming. I know a lot of you came in from, like I said, some people came from Jakarta, some people came all the way from Calgary. I'm looking at you, Dave Lazar. Some people came all the way from Millwoods, the hood in Millwoods. Some are just small town boys coming from Stony Plain. Some people are coming from Leduc and all over. So my Aunt Jerry from Moose Jaw all the way. David Dean coming from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Saskatoon. I've had a few ones. You'll have to bear with me. Saskatchewan. So let's have a round of applause, everybody, for being here. You made our day very great. Want to give a shout out to the bridal party for everything you did. You're supporting Bea. Marissa, with all your help during this entire time, helping Bea, supporting her, coming over, help planning night to night out. Marissa was working tirelessly. And she is one dedicated woman. She never complains. She is there from start to finish. So thank you. Thank you to the rest of the bridal party for helping decorate this wonderful venue and helping Bea and supporting her this entire time. Thank you to my grooms. No speeches, man. You guys choke me up. So I wasn't expecting that, but it's these three guys have been really good friends for a long time. I don't have a lot of friends. I have a few friends, but the few friends I have mean a lot to me, and they're really special guys. These three guys are stand-up men. They're good family men. They're good friends, and I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that you guys are in my life. I'm glad you're here, and hopefully we'll have many more memories, like my dad said, for the rest of them. So thank you for being here, boys. Thank you, Demos, for being an MC here tonight. I'll share one quick story. These guys were nice enough to take me on a on a stag. But as anybody who knows me knows, I kind of had to cut my drinking down a little bit. That's what the doctor told me. So we couldn't do anything drinking related. So instead, Trevor planned a hiking and rafting trip up in Clearwater, which was great. I felt pretty good about myself. We're all camping, we're hiking, and then we hit the sauna where we took off our shirts. And these two boys, this one here is a physiotherapist, and this one's a personal trainer. So they pull off their shirts and they look like they're photoshopped. Trevor was talking about Brad Pitt abs. These guys in the epitome, and then I pull off my shirt and it's... So ever since then, Trevor's been wrote me out a workout plan. So thank you, Trevor. I appreciate that. I want to thank the catering staff. That food was amazing. I want to thank the hosts and the servers and the people here working at the Black Barn. This is a great venue. But most of all, I want to thank my beautiful wife for coming into my life. And my mom was right. You know, before you came in, I didn't think that I would get married again. I didn't think that I would have somebody to come into my life and make me feel whole again. But there you are. And you have enriched my life. You've made me feel love again. You've made... You've made a huge impact on my life and my family's life, the girls' life. I think everybody in my family just adores you. You make our life better. You make it more whole. Just like the lady who owns the Black Barn said, she came up to me when this whole event started today, and she said, "Your wife looks absolutely amazing." I'm like, "I know." She's like, "What the hell's she doing with you?" I don't know. I've been asking myself ever since I had a bath, drinking beer, listening to Journey, but I want to thank you for being with me and making me the most happy idiot that could be around. So I love you. Thank you all for coming. I hope you have a great night.